The origins of the theatre in Britain are linked to medieval religious celebration, especially to commemorate great Christian events. These performances took place in the nave of churches at first, but soon they moved outside. This meant that Latin was replaced with English, and lay people took the place of monks and priests in these performances, which became known as mystery plays. Drama became the main form of Elizabethan art. The Elizabethan age was characterized by a wide range of interests and vitality of language. Entertainment was rooted in the communal life of medieval towns and villages for a mixed public, more trained in listening than in reading. Public performances were illegal in the city of London. That's why theatres were increasingly built on the South Bank, which was easily accessible across the Thames. The newly built theatres soon prospered as commercial enterprises. So, James Burbage, a carpenter by trade, built the first two permanent theatres near London. The first was the Theatre in 1576, and the second was the Curtain in 1577, north of the walls of the City of London. Permanent theatres were circular or octagonal. Within the outer walls there were 3 tiers of galleries looking down on the stage, and the yard or pit, where the poorer spectacles or groundlings stood. The stage itself, technically known as an apron stage, projected into the yard, so that when the theatre was full, the players were surrounded on 3 sides. No more than 12 actors could appear on stage at the same time due to the space restrictions. Over the stage, the shadow or thatched roof protected the players from the rain. In the front of the stage there was a trapdoor used for devilish apparitions and disappearances, and also for burials. The actors' tiring house, the place where the actors changed their costumes, was at the back of the stage. There were 2 doors for entrances and exits. Behind the stage there was an inner stage, concealed by a curtain when not in use, which was demanded for several plays. For Juliet's tomb in Romeo and Juliet, for an hiding place for Claudius and Polonius in Hamlet. This inner stage was used not only for discoveries but also for concealments. One major problem was the staging of the final scene of those tragedies which ended with several corpses on the stage. Only 2 methods were available. Either the body was carried off, or else it was hidden at the side of the stage, since the Elizabethan stage had no curtain. There were also an upper stage, hidden by a curtain, and a balcony, normally used by musicians. The structure of the stage considerably affected the form of Elizabethan plays. In the modern theatre, actors are separated from the audience by a curtain. Moreover, they act in bright light before spectacles hidden in a darkened auditorium. In Shakespeare's time, the actor came forward on the apron stage into the midst of his audience. Communication was intimate and direct. The device of the soliloquy was a natural way for a character to explain his thoughts and intentions. There was no scenery, and plays took place in daylight, usually starting at 2 p.m. The stage relied on conventions, using a limited number of props. For night scenes, a simple candle or torch represented the night world. The action was continuous. A scene ended when all the actors left the stage, and a new set of characters came on. The time and locality were usually mentioned in the dialogue. Women did not act in Shakespeare's time, and the female parts were acted by boys. The Elizabethan Acting Company was a permanent fellowship of players and they worked on a basis of a shared system. From popular sources, the characters and situations were often allegorical types, and the plays contained scenes of vivid caricature and realistic comedy. The ideas of men's place inside an ordered universe and of the mutability of fortune and the stars were also typical. Thanks to the spread of translation, Italian plays became the sources of much Elizabethan theatre, together with the influence of Italian commedia dell'arte companies, which travelled throughout England in the middle of the 16th century. The English stage owed much also to the works of Niccolò Machiavelli in the display of horrors, unnatural crimes, vice and corruption. The Elizabethan theatre was also influenced by Greek tragedies. Moreover, it borrowed from the Latin philosopher and tragedian Seneca in the division of the play into 5 acts, in the tragic and bloody incident, in the taste for revenge, in making good rhetoric out of the conflicting emotions and passions. Thomas Keats' very popular The Spanish Tragedy was the typical Senecan revenge play full of ghosts and horror, mixed with Machiavellian ingredients such as intrigues, lies, and villains. Keats also added the play within the play, so the plot includes the staging of a play whose audience is composed of the actors. This device served to verify the truth of a message concerning the characters of the real play. And referring to that, we can also remember A Midnight Summer Dream, where it was a play within the play.